I want you to just picture something for a second. Imagine you're a lab tech, maybe in a rural clinic.
Okay.
You're hunched over a microscope, your back hurts, your eyes are burning, and you've spent hours, I mean hours, just counting these tiny little specks on a glass slide.
It's exhausting work. And that physical bottleneck is exactly why microscopy, even though it's the gold standard for diagnosis, creates such a huge gap in healthcare.
Right.
We just can't scale human eyes to meet the demand.
But what if we didn't have to? Today we're going to dive into something called Octopi 2.0.
And no, it's not a sea creature.
No, definitely not. It's a breakthrough from a Stanford-led team. It's basically an open-source, automated robot microscope that you can fit in a backpack.
It is, but the mission here is the bigger story. It's not just a cool gadget. The researchers see it as building an app store for diagnostics.
An app store.
Yeah, and they're starting by tackling the massive global burden of malaria. We're talking 263 million cases in 2023 alone.
So let's unpack the problem. Why is the way we do things now? Why is it failing?
Well, like you said, manual checking is just too slow. An expert needs about 6 minutes to properly check one slide.
6 minutes.
And here's the scary part. In a lot of settings, the sensitivity, how often they actually catch the disease, can be as low as 30 to 60%.
Wait, 30%? You're saying they could miss almost half the cases that walk in the door.
Exactly. Just due to fatigue or, poor equipment. And the backup plan is failing too, these little rapid tests or RDTs.
Yeah.
The parasites are actually evolving. They're developing gene deletions to hide from them.
They're becoming invisible to our tests.
That's right. So we desperately need better microscopy.
Okay, so enter Octopi 2.0. The thing that really got me was the accessibility. It's modular, and the parts cost under $2,000.
Which is nothing compared to the big commercial scanners. Those can cost as much as a luxury car. This is revolutionary for low-resource areas.
Cost is one thing, but what about speed? The throughput?
That's the other side of it. Octopi scans about 1 million red blood cells per minute.
1 million per minute.
Mm-hmm. Roughly 100 times faster than a human can do it. And it never gets tired. It never blinks.
So you have speed and price, but what about the accuracy? This is where the science gets really, really cool.
It's a brilliant bit of biological chemistry. So they use this fluorescent stain called DAPI.
Okay.
Now, normally DAPI stains DNA and it glows blue.
Right, standard procedure.
But the malaria parasite, Plasmodium falciparum, it's very rich in RNA. And the team found that when DAPI binds to that RNA, the fluorescence undergoes a spectral shift.
So it changes color.
It shifts towards red. So instead of looking for shapes, the machine is filtering for a specific color change.
Which lets it instantly tell a dangerous parasite from, say, a harmless platelet that might also be glowing.
Precisely. It cuts right through the noise.
Cutting through the noise is a challenge everywhere. And speaking of which, this deep dive is sponsored by EmberSilk. If you're trying to filter the signal from the noise in your own business, whether that's with AI training, automation, or just figuring out where AI agents can actually help, you should check out embersilk.com.
Because just like with this microscope, once you have that clean data, you need a brain to process it.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And that's where the deep learning part comes in. I saw they're using a ResNet 18 model. What does that mean for the rest of us?
It means they're using a standard, really efficient computer vision model. It's a workhorse of the industry, not something super experimental. And it works.
Oh, well.
The system has a limit of detection, they call it, of around 12 parasites per microliter of blood.
12? Is that a small number? How impressive is that?
It's finding the needle in the haystack. A standard exam might need hundreds of parasites to spot a positive. This thing finds the disease when it is barely there. In testing, it hit over 97% specificity.
And it gets smarter over time, right?
That's the continuous learning part. They found that just by retraining the AI with one new round of data, they boosted its sensitivity from around 80% to over 93%.
So the more diseases it sees, the better it gets at protecting all of us.
Correct. And because the hardware is so modular, this isn't just a malaria machine. They're already testing it for sickle cell disease, bacterial vaginosis, even TB.
It's designed to be a universal platform.
Exactly.
This feels like such a huge shift. We're moving to a world where you don't need a massive, expensive lab to get a world-class diagnosis.
We're looking at a future of accessible, automated diagnostics. One that doesn't depend on fragile supply chains or, tired human eyes. It's democratizing medicine.
It really is. And it leaves me with this one thought. If we can essentially download a new disease profile to a microscope, just like installing an app on your phone.
Yeah.
Imagine what that does for our ability to stop pandemics before they even start. We could update the world's defense system overnight.
That is definitely a future worth working for.
If you enjoyed this deep dive, please subscribe to the show. Hey, leave us a 5-star review if you can. It really does help get the word out. Thanks for tuning in.